You were told that 6 figures means you've made it. That once you hit $100,000 a year, the stress would fade, the panic would stop, the calculator would finally stay in the drawer. But why does it still feel tight? Why does $110,000 a year feel like you're one emergency away from chaos? This isn't about bad budgeting. It's not about lattes or vacations. It's about a system that takes more than half your income before you even get a chance to build wealth. If you've ever looked at your paycheck and thought, where does it all go? This is the breakdown you weren't supposed to see. Hit like, subscribe, and stay with me, because once you see the numbers, you can't unsee them. It's Tuesday night. Mike and Sarah Anderson are sitting at their kitchen table. The laptop is open, bills are scattered. There's a calculator between them like it's some kind of referee. Their combined income is $110,000 a year. 6 figures, the number that's supposed to mean security, stability, success. But right now, they feel like they're one car repair away from panic. Sarah finally says what millions of middle-class Americans are thinking. Where does it all go? Let's follow the money. Start with $110,000 gross income. Before they can spend a single dollar, the first cut happens. Federal income tax, roughly $8,697 after deductions. State income tax, at 5%, about $5,500. FICA, Social Security and Medicare, 7.65% of gross income, $8,415. That's $22,612 gone immediately. Over 20% of their income evaporates before groceries, before housing, before diapers. But it doesn't stop there. Health insurance premiums, $4,800 per year out of pocket, plus a $3,000 deductible before real coverage kicks in. That's $7,800 just to access health care. Now the total removed before they've bought a gallon of milk, $30,412. That's 27.6% of their gross income gone. This is the first cut. The money you never truly see. The illusion that you make 6 figures, when in reality, your usable income is already dramatically smaller. And we're just getting started. Now we move into something most people don't even recognize as a tax. Childcare. Mike and Sarah have 2 kids. Their childcare bill is $1,850 per month. That's $22,200 per year. Let that sink in. They pay more for childcare than they pay in federal and state income taxes combined. And unlike taxes, there's no cap, no ceiling, no public alternative in most areas. In countries like Germany, Sweden, or France, childcare is subsidized or publicly funded. Healthcare is covered. College is affordable. In America, those costs are privatized, which means you pay them individually. And because they're privatized, they rise with no democratic control. Add childcare to the total. Taxes, $22,612. Health insurance/deductible, $7,800. Childcare, $22,200. Total so far, $52,612. Nearly 48% of their gross income. Half. Gone before housing, before food, before gas. This is the privatized tax code. You pay the government, then you pay corporations for what other nations treat as public infrastructure, and the bill rises every year. But wages? Not so much. That's why 6 figures doesn't feel like winning. It feels like survival. Now we enter the slow bleed, the invisible leaks, individually small, collectively devastating. Gas taxes, about $420 per year. Cell phone taxes and regulatory fees, $180. Vehicle registration, $150. Sales tax on $15,000 of annual purchases, $1,200. Property tax, $4,200. Homeowners insurance, $1,200. Auto insurance for 2 cars, $2,400. Add them up. That's $9,750. Invisible, normalized, automatic. Now let's calculate everything so far. Federal, state, FICA taxes, $22,612. Health insurance and deductible, $7,800. Childcare, $22,200. Invisible costs, $9,750. Grand total, $62,362. That's 56.7% of their gross income, consumed before groceries, before retirement savings, before vacations, before emergencies. Over half of their income is structurally extracted before they can build wealth. And this is why $110,000 feels like being broke. Not because they're reckless, not because they're irresponsible, because the system skims first. How did we get here? In 1950, payroll taxes made up about 15% of federal revenue. Today, around 33%. Corporate income taxes used to account for roughly 30% of revenue. Today, around 9%. The burden shifted from corporations to labor, from capital to wages. In 2020, dozens of profitable corporations paid zero in federal income tax. Zero! But Mike and Sarah cannot opt out. They pay Social Security taxes on every dollar up to the cap. Meanwhile, someone earning $500,000 only pays Social Security tax on the first $176,100. After that, it stops. Their effective rate drops dramatically. The system becomes regressive. Labor pays more proportionally than capital. So when the middle class feels squeezed, it's not imagination, it's structure. And without understanding that structure, people internalize the blame. They think, we must be bad with money. But the extraction is baked in. So what now? You cannot budget your way out of a structural trap. Cutting coffee won't recover 56% of your income. The solution is offensive, not defensive. First, shift from wage earner to asset owner. The tax code rewards ownership. Capital gains and dividends are taxed differently than labor income. Stocks, real estate, business equity, these create leverage. Second, increase income strategically, not just overtime, not just grinding. Build skills that command higher compensation. Build scalable side income. Build something that grows without trading hours directly for dollars. Third, understand the system. Financial literacy is leverage. Learn how taxes work. Learn about investment vehicles. Learn about retirement accounts. Learn about how wealth is built over decades. Mike and Sarah cannot rewrite tax law, but they can change strategy. They can invest. They can build assets. They can stop blaming themselves. And so can you. Because the middle class isn't collapsing from laziness. It's being hollowed out by a structure that rewards capital and taxes labor. But once you see the machine, you can stop being crushed by it and start building despite it. If this breakdown shifted how you see your income, hit like, subscribe for more deep dives, and tell me, did you realize how much disappears before you even begin? Knowledge isn't just power, it's profit.